Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahabushai, Bahasham, Barakaha Kodash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and in this video, I'll be profiling a clip from RT America's YouTube channel titled NATO Furious with Turkey for Buying Second Russian Missile System. And this is just another example of biblical prophecy taking place right before your very eyes. Another ally of the United States of America, which is biblically known as Babylon the Great, beginning to turn against her and pivot towards allying themselves with Russia. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy, or your allies, the allies of the United States of America, which Turkey is one of them, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. And as we'll see from that clip on RT America, and as you've been seeing over these past couple of years, the men that were at peace with Babylon, such as Turkey, have been deceiving them. Some examples include the Syrian Civil War. Turkey was on the side of the United States of America in the Syrian Civil War just to carve out a little sliver of territory in northern Syria, all the while still doing deals and moving towards Russia, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And that bread includes the benefits that the United States of America has shown toward its allies. And again, the U.S. allowing Turkey to cut out a little bit of territory in northern Syria is some of the bread that Babylon allowed Turkey to eat, as well as the United States of America allowing Turkey to host some nuclear missiles such as the B-61, and then also in talks to allow them to gain an upgraded version of the B-61. The B-61/-12, but as it says, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. Hey, they're still deceiving the United States of America because Turkey is going to turn against the U.S. and ally themselves with Russia during World War III, the Battle of Armageddon, the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Turkey, Russia, and Iran are major players in prophecy. This is Ezekiel chapter 38. I'm going to start at verse 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, which is the biblical name for Russia, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And that's talking about the Most High putting that old confrontational Soviet Union spirit back on these Russians, which we've been seeing. Russia has been becoming more aggressive militarily, politically, and economically. They've been building up their military assets in the Arctic Ocean region, which is going to play a big part during World War III. They've helped the Syrians fight against the United States of America, the state of Israel, and their proxy forces, such as ISIS. They've built back up their naval port in Syria. They're doing political and military deals with countries like Sudan. They've got the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline project with Germany and France. The list goes on. And hey, they're, as we'll see from that clip on RT America, they're selling their second round of S-400 anti-missile defense systems to an ally of the United States of America, Turkey. And I will bring thee forth, speaking of the Most High, bringing Russia down into that Middle Eastern region, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, for the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, the War of Armageddon, World War III, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, their military assets, tanks, soldiers, fighter jets, helicopters, artillery pieces, etc., etc. And Russia already has a presence in that Middle Eastern region due to the Syrian civil war. Verse 5, Persia, which is the ancient name for Iran, and as you know, Russia is one of Iran's top allies, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer, which is speaking of Turkey and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, speaking of Gog, or Russia, being a guard unto these smaller nations. And like I said earlier in the video, Gomer, or Turkey, is going to turn against the United States of America and ally themselves with Persia or Iran and all of Russia's other allies during World War III to fight against the United States of America and her allies. And we're already seeing examples of Gog being a guard unto Gomer, such as that clip I'm about to show from RT America, with Russia planning to sell a second batch of S-400 anti-missile defense systems to Turkey. And also, Russia and Turkey have been doing deals for Russia to build nuclear reactors in Turkey. But now let's get to that clip, showing how those that were at peace and confederate with the United States of America and that have eaten her bread have deceived her and laid a wound under her.
You know, there is something kind of weird that's taking place in Turkey. President Erdogan seems to be spending money left and right on weapons. He's offering billions to get stealth fighters, Patriot missiles from the United States. That's not going so well, but he's already got some. He's also buying a second Russian missile system, despite objections, of course, from NATO. According to Erdogan, nobody has the right to tell him or to tell Turkey what they can buy or from whom they can buy it. Mike Maloof, former Pentagon official, is good enough to join us now to talk about this kind of strange thing. I guess I just have to ask, what is Erdogan up to?
Well, he's trying to assert himself and his country's independence. He has his own agenda, and he doesn't want to be told.
More importantly, what's the Most High up to? Fulfilling biblical prophecy.
As a leader of a sovereign country, what to do, and he doesn't feel that NATO countries have a right to interfere in his national interest.
I almost thought you were going to say, when I asked you the first question, well, that's just Erdogan being Erdogan, because he is a differentiator, really, when we compare him to other leaders. But let me ask you this question. As it's been explained to me, Russian military weapons are not compatible with NATO military weapons. So if he ends up with a Patriot system and a Soviet defense system, how the hell are those things going to work together?
Well, he wouldn't have bought the S-400 and now the follow-on system if the United States was a little more forthcoming with the Patriots. There's a rule in NATO that you don't use outside equipment not from non-NATO countries.
Do you think he cares about what NATO's rules are?
Not anymore, no, because he sees that he's been vilified, he's been sanctioned by the U.S. and also, but he has one leverage, and on Europe especially, and that's why they're not going to really come banging on him. And that is, he can let millions of Syrian refugees back into Europe. That's his leverage. And that's what I see why he is being able to get away with playing both sides, basically.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that question. I'm so glad you mentioned that he's able to play the United States and NATO, and while playing the Russians at the same time. Well, he's going to Should the Russians care? Hey, you want to buy our stuff? Great, here it is. As long as it's cash money, right?
Well, that's correct. And Erdogan's going to be meeting with President Putin next week. So, and it's going to be fine. Notwithstanding their differences, that he's a NATO member, and the fact that they have differences over Syria.
It's almost a hot and cold relationship between Erdogan and Putin, isn't it? I mean, there's times when they seem like these two guys are going to work together, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, we don't.
Well, you have two strong personalities that happen to get along, It's the same reason why Trump wanted to belong to that little exclusive club. He likes power. He likes authority and strong men. And both of them are very, very strong in their way. But one is not.
And even though Trump is no longer president, the United States of America is not going to join that power club of Russia and Turkey. They're going to be fighting against them during the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat.
Not going to trip over the other and upset. I mean, Erdogan learned his lesson back in 2015.
Here's what I'm confused about. He already has NATO weapons. Erdogan has NATO weapons. He's had them forever.
Yeah.
Sure, he didn't get this new stealth Patriot
And he
deal.
didn't get F-35 either.
And he's asking for those. That's 1.9
They that have eaten thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
billion, apparently.
He's not going to get them.
I was going to ask. He's not going to get them now?
No.
By saying yes to the Russians, that's it? NATO's going to close the door on him?
Right, he's been sanctioned, and because he has that S-400 system, he's always threatening to
Gog being a guard unto Gomer.
deploy it. And now he's talking about a second one. I think he's using it as a club against the United States, against any sanctions.
So there you have it. Again, just more biblical prophecy taking place right before your very eyes. And all this is happening so that the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, the War of Armageddon, World War III can take place. I'm going to close it out in Joel chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, the heathen Gentiles, which is exactly what the true men of the Lord, the prophets of the Most High, chiefly through GMS or Great Millstone, are doing by going out onto the highways and byways, as well as putting up video epistles like this, proclaiming among the heathen Gentiles, the United States of America, Turkey, Russia, China, Iran, the state of Israel, Saudi Arabia, these European Edomite NATO nations, etc., prepare war, prepare for World War III, prepare for the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, prepare for war with Iran, prepare for the war of Armageddon, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And a smaller nation like Turkey, just completely ignoring the dictates of the United States of America to continue to do deals with Russia, is the weak saying, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh, and those mighty ones are the death angels of the Most High, holding back this great destruction, waiting to get the go-ahead to release it, which is mainly going to happen after the MOTB, the Charagma, in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 and 17 is mandatorily implemented. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, or Yahweh's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And when you go up to the first couple of verses of this chapter, you'll see that these heathen nations, chiefly the Edomites, are getting gathered down into the Valley of Jehoshaphat for the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, because it's all judgment from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai on you heathen nations for afflicting the apple of his eye, the true children of Israel, who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision, and it's very near. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim are edified. Just keep strong and keep pushing this word. We're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.